What is up, everybody, and welcome to another Twitch Out of the Park baseball stream. I am Associate Community Manager Kris Jardine, aka SnaggleJ, bringing you the first part of tonight's doubleheader. The full-fledged Community Manager, TJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer, will be live 1 hour from now. But for now, you've got me, and we've got something really hot cooking here tonight. Most of you may or may not know that I am Canadian. So in keeping with the theme of it being the World Series, and in keeping with the theme of it, being Canadian myself, I decided let's put the exhibition module of Out of the Park Baseball to work, and let's find out who would win in a World Series between the 1992 Toronto Blue Jays and the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays. Of course, those being the only two championships in franchise history. Let's jump over to our best buddies at baseballreference.com just for a little bit of history for some of you people who may have been too young for these particular moments. The 1992 World Series, the Toronto Blue Jays became the first team outside of the United States to win the World Series. They bested the Atlanta Braves 4-2 in dramatic fashion as they came back in the extra innings of Game 6. And then that famous moment where Otis Nixon bunted with 2 out, which a lot of people questioned after the fact. I mean, that was his game. As you can see, the Braves dropped Game 1. Or the Braves won Game 1, and Game 2 was when the momentum really shifted. Now, for those of you who are following the Out of the Park Baseball Twitter account at twitter.com/OOTP Baseball, you guys know we are currently playing a trivia game before each of the World Series games, hashtag World Series Heroes. And this Game 2 featured predominantly in yesterday's question, as the answer was Ed Sprague, who hit a go-ahead home run in the top of the 9th off of Braves closer Jeff Reardon to give the Jays the lead and the eventual victory. The Jays then won Games 3 and 4 back in Toronto before dropping Game 5 and then winning Game 6 in Atlanta. Now, in the World Series versus the 92 and 93 Jays, the 92 Jays would have home field as they bested the regular season record of the 93 Jays by 1 game. The 93 Jays, of course, will be remembered for Joe Carter's walk-off home run in game number 6 of the World Series. And it was a fantastic series back and forth. I still remember Game 4, the 15-14 game. It was back and forth. It was absolutely insane. The Blue Jays, they split the first 2 games in Toronto. The Jays won 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia and then picked up Game 6 back in Toronto. And yeah, I mean, the series obviously is remembered for that Joe Carter home run. But nonetheless, we are going to dive in to the Out of the Park baseball version of the 92 and the 93 Jays. So the 93 Jays are on the top, I believe. Yes, the 93 Jays are on the top. So their best player was Dwayne Ward with 5 stars. They also had Roberto Alomar. A lot of these players are going to be duplicates, which is going to make this series very interesting. A lot of people thought the 93 team was significantly better offensively. They added Ricky Henderson at the trade deadline. They had Paul Molitor, who hit 330 plus on the season. They still had their core intact of Robbie Alomar, Devon White, Joe Carter. You had Pat Borders in there. There's Ed Sprague, who by this time was the full-fledged third baseman. No Kelly Gruber for the 93 team. Jack Morris was still there in 93, but played much less of a predominant factor. There you see John Olerud at the very top with his 5 stars as well. Hit 363 that season. The bottom, you will see some players that moved on. David Cohn had moved on. Dwayne Ward was a setup guy in 92, was the full-fledged closer in 93 after Tom Henke left. Dave Winfield featured predominantly on the 92 team. Everyone will remember the Winfield wants noise things later in the season. Winfield thought the fans at the Sky Dome were, more of a business-type crowd, and they weren't really being loud enough, and that led to the whole Winfield wants noise movement. And, of course, he had that big double down the line in Game 6 in 92 that won the Jays the World Series. Joe Carter was there. Obviously, you have Kelly Gruber, Manny Lee. So this should be a heck of a series. Not going to lie. This should be phenomenal. So taking a look. So this is going to be a little hard to keep track of. But just try to remember the 93 Jays are on the left. The 92 Jays are on the right. And obviously, again, with Winfield on there towards the top of the roster, you know that they would be the 92 Jays. So looking at what the pitching matchups would be, you got Jack Morris versus Jack Morris in Game 3, and look at the difference in seasons. In 93, he was only 7-12 with a 6.19 ERA. In 92, 21-6 with a 4.04 ERA. So a drastically different Jack Morris. But yeah, Juan Guzman's going to go to the hill for the 93 Jays against David Cone for the 92 Jays in Game 1. Stottlemyre versus Juan Guzman in Game 2, the 92 version of Juan Guzman, of course. Morris versus Morris in Game 3. And Dave Stewart for the 92 Jays against Jimmy Key. Or Dave Stewart for the 93 Jays against Jimmy Key for the 92 Jays. Got to admit, this is probably going to be slightly difficult to keep track of, which, was an oversight in my planning of this, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun and try to see what kind of things are going to happen here. I'm just going to move one thing around here. Hang on one second, guys. All right. So let's jump in. We're going to play a couple of these, see how it makes out. As always, guys, just remember, you guys can head on over to all these various places that are on your screen right now. OOTPdevelopments.com, where you can head on over to the eCellerate store and pick up your very own copy of OOTP 18, which is 66% off. 66% off until November 1st. Pick it up before it's gone. World Series special, 66% off. Do it. You definitely should do it. If you want to catch the archives of some of these, head on over to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/OOTPdevelopments. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at OOTP Baseball. We're giving away 2 codes for Out of the Park Baseball 18 before every World Series game. And it looks like it could go 7. So, hey, that's going to multiply your chances of winning. And make sure you give us a like on Facebook at facebook.com/OOTP Baseball. Taking a look at the lineups for the first game, the 93 Jays field Ricky Henderson, Roberto Alomar, John Olerud, Paul Molitor, Tony Fernandez, Joe Carter, Devon White, Pat Borders, and Darnell Coles at third base, which is probably not what we want to do. But hey, we're gonna trust the AI here. The 92 Jays go with Alomar, Olerud, Winfield, Carter, Maldonado, White, Borders, Lee, and Gruber, which is not the lineup that they went with. But again, we're going to let the OOTP CPU manager handle things in these games. And again, Juan Guzman for the 93 Jays against David Cone for the 92 Jays. So let's jump in, play this first game. We're just going to go 1 inning at a time right now. We get no score after 1. They trade some hits in the second inning, but no scores there. 3 hits apiece through 3, but again, nothing. Still nothing through 4. Wow, Cone and Guzman really pitching unbelievable against it. You can see David Cone through 5 innings has 10 strikeouts. Wow. And the 92 Jays put up 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Let's see what happened. Let's go down. We could check that out later. But the Jays score 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Let's go to the 7th. Still 2-0. Tom Henke is now pitching. So now that we're into the 8th inning, let's see what's going to happen here. So we've got the 93 Jays at the plate. Let's see what happens. We've got Robbie Alomar leading off for the 93 Jays. Tom Hankey coming in early for the 92 Jays, coming in the 8th. And that's Robbie Alomar greets him with a home run. The 93 Jays get on the board as Robbie Alomar homers off of Tom Hankey. The Terminator gives up a long bomb, and that cuts the 92 Jays lead to 2-1. Johnny Olerud now is going to come up to the plate. Hankey reeling after that home run. And he walks John Olerud on the 3-2 pitch. So Hankey comes in and gives up a Alomar home run and a Olerud walk. And the 93 Jays have life here. Paul Molitor now for the 93 Jays. He's going to hit a high little looper to shortstop. That's going to be caught by Manny Lee. 1 down. Tony Fernandez draws a 4-pitch walk. Wow. That is going to bring Joe Carter to the plate, who was obviously a hero for the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays, trying to be a hero here in Game 1 against their team the year before. And that is going to be another walk. 3 walks and a home run in the inning. And now Tom Hankey is going to stay in the game and face Devon White. Here's the pitch, and White strikes out. A huge K there for Tom Hankey. Getting back even. Trying to get out of this inning. Trying to keep the 93 Jays at bay, and they are going to go now to Dwayne Ward. Cito Gaston making some changes here. Hankey was the closer all season, but now he's going to go to Dwayne Ward, who had 101 innings pitched in 1992 and 103 strikeouts. So he's going to go to Dwayne Ward, foreshadowing what would happen in 93. Here's Borders. He's 0 for 3 in the game, and he strikes out. So Dwayne Ward comes in, cleans up Tom Hankey's mess. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th here. See if we're going to simulate this half inning to see if the 92 Jays can extend their lead. They can't. So top of the 9th, the 1993 Blue Jays are down 1. And they have the bottom of the order, Darnell Coles. And he hits one in the second. Robbie Alomar, of course, makes a fantastic play at second base. Doesn't matter which team it is, he's going to do that. Here's Ricky Henderson now back to the top of the order for the Jays. Henderson hits that ball to left. That's going to be a base hit. The most dangerous base runner for the 93 Blue Jays is on. Ricky Henderson, who actually didn't have a very good stint when he came over for the Jays. Henderson was actually really bad at the plate. He didn't get much going. But when the playoffs came around, he started finding ways to get on base and definitely was a terror. So here's Robbie Alomar now. 93 Jays down 1. Alomar, who homered his last time up, pops up to second. That is going to be out number 2. So it all comes down to Johnny Olerud. And they're going to go to left-handed reliever Bob McDonald. Cito Gaston going deep into the bullpen here in Game 1. Bob McDonald in to try to get the save here. And that is going to be a hit ball down the line by Olerud. That is going to land in fair territory. And that is going to be a long single for Johnny O. And Ricky Henderson makes it all the way to third. And now with 2 out, Paul Molitor is going to come to the plate with a chance to tie this game. McDonald's going to stay in here. Ball hit to third, and they're going to go the short way to second. And the 92 Blue Jays pick up a Game 1 victory by a score of 2-1. Absolutely fantastic baseball game. You can see Candy Maldonado with both RBIs for the 92 Blue Jays. A double off of Juan Guzman in the 6th inning. Robbie Alomar with the only run driven in for the 93 Jays, as he has a solo home run off of Tom Hankey. Guzman takes the loss. He pitched very well, though. 7 innings, 8 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks. Mark Eichhorn with an inning of relief for the 93 Jays. The 92 Jays, David Cone, 7 innings, no runs on 3 hits, 3 walks, and 13 Ks. Wow. David Cohn absolutely pitching fire out there for the 92 Jays. Hankey and Ward with holds, and Bob McDonald comes in to get the save. The unlikely Game 1 save for old Bobby Mack. Let's jump into Game 2. Looks like same lineups for both teams. Todd Stottlemyre going to try to even it out for the 93 Jays. The 92 Jays send Juan Guzman to the mound to try to take a 2-0 lead at home. Remember, the 92 Jays got home field because of their one additional regular season win over the 93 Jays, which is not confusing at all, to be honest. Let's go an inning at a time. No score after 1. No score after 2. No score after 3. So far, so good. Fourth inning sees the teams exchange runs. So it is 1-1 after 4 innings. We're going to do kind of the same thing. We're going to go through and we're going to simulate through to, say, the 5th or 6th. The 93 Jays take a 2-1 lead after 5. And they maintain that lead after 6. But the 92 Jays tie it up in the bottom of the 7th. So let's go to the 8th now. Juan Guzman still on the mound for the 92 Blue Jays. Top of the order for the 93 Jays with Ricky Henderson. And Henderson hits a base hit through the left side. And as we said in Game 1, the most dangerous base runner for the Blue Jays is on. And that's going to bring up Robbie Alomar. Alomar rips one to first. Olerud's going to take it the short way for the out. Henderson moves up to second base. The go-ahead run. Guzman has now thrown 110 pitches, but will stay in here to face John Olerud, who takes the free pass on 4 pitches. So an intentional walk to Olerud will put runners at first and second with 1 out. And now the 92 Blue Jays make a move as they go to Dwayne Ward to face Paul Molitor. The 93 Jays, 1 out, runners at first and second. Tie ball game here in the 8th. And Molitor lifts a fly ball to center. That is going to be caught by Devon White. They get the ball back in. And that's going to be out number 2. Tony Fernandez now. 2 out here in the inning. Ward trying to get out of it. Grounder to third. Gruber is going to go the short way to second to Alomar, and that is going to be out number 3. So the 92 Jays escape with the game still 2-2. Why can't I? Interesting. Can't seem to be able to right-click on anything all of a sudden. That's fine. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 8th now. Dwayne Ward in for the 93 Jays to face Candy Maldonado. And Maldonado strikes out. Here is Devon White. And Devon White takes a free pass. Runner at first now for Pat Borders. And that is going to be a dump single into left field. The 92 Jays getting it going here. Pat Borders, of course, was the most valuable player of the 1992 World Series. And there is Manny Lee striking out. Probably should have pinch hit for him there. But now you got Kelly Gruber at the bottom of the order. First and second, 2 out. The Grubster, the mullet. They're going to be pinch hit for by Jeff Kent, who strikes out to end the inning. Ward K's 3 in the inning. We're going to head to the 9th, 2-2. Dwayne Ward stays in for the 92 Jays to face Joe Carter for the 93 Jays. Carter rips one to short, but Manny Lee makes the play. On the first, that's 1 down. Devon White now in. He strikes out. Here's Borders. And he strikes out as well. A couple of Ks for 92 Dwayne Ward. And that is going to get them out of the top of the 9th. Score still 2-2. 92 Jays with a chance to walk it off here in the bottom. Mark Eichhorn going to come in the game, facing Robbie Alomar in the top of the 92 Jays order. And that is going to be a slasher into left and a diving play. Ricky Henderson with a fantastic play in left field to start off the bottom of the ninth. Wow. Johnny O going to bat here for the 92 Jays. He's going to lift one into center field. Devon White coming on, and he is going to make a running play. A couple of nice outfield plays for the 93 Jays. Here's Winfield. Winfield rips one to second, and that's going to be a quick 3-up, 3-down for Eichhorn. We're going to go to extras here in game 2. Unbelievable. Here's Darnell Coles. He rips one to third. Jeff Kent in now for Kelly Gruber, makes the play. One down. So here's Ricky Henderson back to the top of the 93 Jays order. And he walks. Cannot walk Ricky Henderson. My, oh my. You just can't do it. Can't do it. Here's Robbie Alomar. Henderson at first. Grounder to second. They're going to go the short way to first as Alomar was moving to his left. So the 93 Jays now have Henderson at second and 2 out for John Olerud, who's 0 for 3 in this game. Mark Eichhorn now comes in for the 92 Jays as well. It's Eichhorn inception here. Grounder to short. Manny Lee is going to make the play, and the 93 Jays come away empty-handed. The 92 Jays have Carter, Maldonado, and White to face Mark Eichhorn in his second inning of work. And Carter with a base hit down the left field line, and that hits the corner. We're going to get into second. Let's see. We're waiting for the text to catch up. And he's safe. He's safe at second with a double. So a leadoff double for Joe Carter. Now, the 93 Jays have Pat Henkin and Al Leiter warming up right now. Interesting mix down there. Candy Maldonado going to take the free pass. Ball 4. Intentional walk. Putting runners at first and second for Devo. This should be a bunt situation, you would think. But now he lines out to short to Tony Fernandez. So now we are going to go to Borders. 92 Pat Borders lifts a fly ball to medium left field. Ricky is under it. And that's going to be 2 out. The Jays unable to move up the run here. Last hope, Manny Lee. He's going to rip one down the first baseline. That's going to be a base hit around third. Comes the runner, and Joe Carter scores, and that is going to end the ball game. The 92 Blue Jays walk off the 93 Blue Jays in Game 2 by a score of 3-2. Manny Lee with a walk-off base hit in the game. All 3 RBIs for the 92 Jays coming from the bottom 3 spots in the order. Borders, Lee, and Kelly Gruber. RBIs for the 93 Jays come from Ricky Henderson and Joe Carter. Doubles in the game. Home run, Kelly Gruber had a home run in the 7th. Only home run of the game. Todd Stottlemyre pitched very well. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 Ks. Danny Cox gave up the big home run to Kelly Gruber. Juan Guzman for the 92 Jays, 7 1/3, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks. So some pretty good pitching performances for teams that were generally very offensive in nature. These teams, big bashing type teams, but not in this simulation as we get a lot of defense. So now we have Game 3, which is the Jack Morris Inception game. Morris versus Morris. Obviously, again, the 92 Morris with much better peripherals than the 93 Morris. 93 Morris was not great. We'll see what we get here. So right away, the 92 Jays jump out to a 2-0 lead. in the first inning. The 93 Jays get it back in the bottom of the second. 92 Jays take a 4-2 lead after 4. 93 Jays cut it back with a run in the bottom of the fifth to make it 4-3. And it's 4-3 after 6. We're going to jump in and play this one from the 6th. The 92 Jays are up 4-3. Al Leiter is on the mound at this point for the 93 Jays, replacing Jack Morris. And facing Manny Lee. Emmanuel, don't call me Manny Lee, draws a walk. Here's Gruber, the number 9 hitter for the 92 Jays. Rips it to short. 6-4-3, but they're not going to turn it at first. Gruber hustles it out, beats the throw. So here's Robbie. Back to the leadoff spot for the 92 Jays. Robbie draws a walk. Leiter getting a little wild here. 2 innings of work and 41 pitches for Leiter. Maybe time to start getting the bullpen going. But he's in here to face Johnny Olerud, of course. So that is going to be an out at first base. So the runners move up to second and third on the play. There we go. Wonder why I couldn't hear it. So second and third, the runners are at. Alomar at second, Gruber at third, Dave Winfield at the plate. The 92 Jays trying to extend their lead. And a grounder to second will not get the job done. So the 93 Jays have some life. We go to the bottom of the 7th. David Wells into the game for the 92 Jays to face Tony Fernandez. Wells in his second inning of work. Starts it off with a walk. Ooh, Carter. That one's deep. Deep, deep, deep. Is it going to come back? It's gone. Joe Carter. The wind pushed that one back. And just like that, the 93 Jays take a 5-4 lead. Wow. Mark Eichhorn into the game. Joe Carter taking David Wells deep to give them a 5-4 lead. Here's White and a nice diving play by Johnny Olerud at first base. Unbelievable. What a play. What defense. There's a grounder to short and a Manny Lee with a nice play. Crazy. All right. 2 out here now. Darnell Cole's the number 9 hitter for the 93 Jays. Hits it short. Lee up with it, makes the play. The damage is done, though. The 93 Jays score 2 on a Joe Carter home run. And now they lead 5-4. And they go to Dwayne Ward, the 93 Jays do. Bringing in their best reliever here in the 8th to try to get through Carter, Maldonado, and White. Carter strikes out swinging 100 miles an hour from Dwayne Ward. There's a rip into left field. That's going to be a base hit in front of Ricky Henderson. Maldonado at first, Devon White at the plate. He hits one up the middle, 6-4. They're just going to take the play at second. So 6-4 put out. Uh-oh. Robbie Alomar was injured on the play, but it's not serious. He can remain in the game. That would have been a huge blow to the 93 Jays. Here's Borders. And he strikes out. So Dwayne Ward comes in the 8th for the 93 Jays. Gets it done. Top of the order up now for the 93 Jays. And Henderson hits a base hit to left field. He's having a series. 5 for 12 now Ricky Henderson is in the series so far. Here's Robbie. Hits one to short. They're going to go the short way to second. And they, in time, they turn the 2. Wow. Unbelievable. Olerud up now. Bob McDonald in the lefty. Lefty on lefty matchup. Something they didn't do a whole heck of a lot back in those days. Fly to left, and that ball falls in front of Candy Maldonado. So now the 92 Jays are going to go to Dwayne Ward to try to get Paul Molitor out here. Molitor rips one to right field. Carter is going to be there. Or that's Winfield actually out there tonight. He's going to make the play. Inning over. So the 93 Jays get no more. So we're going to go to the top of the ninth now. The 93 Jays going to go to Mark Eichhorn here in the ninth inning. Bullpen by committee all of a sudden. Lead with a fly ball to left. Ricky is underneath it, and he makes the play. The 93 Jays trying to get into this series. They are down 2-0. Here's Jeff Kent. He strikes out. And Alomar with a grounder to second, and that's going to do it. So the 93 Jays get on the board with a 5-4 win. And they now trail the 92 Jays by 2-1. As you can see in the game, uh, 5-4 was the final. Obviously, that big Joe Carter home run was the difference maker in the game. Joe Carter with a home run in the bottom of the 7th off of David Wells, a 2-run shot to give the Jays a 5-4 lead. Fernandez with an RBI as well, with a triple in the game. And Devon White with a couple RBIs. He had a home run in the 2nd inning off Jack Morris. Jack Morris versus Jack Morris, well, neither of them pitched particularly well. 92 Jack Morris, 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, a walk and 4 Ks. 93 Jack Morris, 4 1/3, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. So neither Jack Morris did particularly well. David Wells with the loss. Al Leiter picks up the win. So we move on now to game number 4, which sees Dave Stewart for the 93 Jays against Jimmy Key for the 92 Jays. No score after 1. Oh, Mike Timlin in. I wonder if something must have happened. Must have been an injury. Let's see. Mike Timlin came into the game early. I don't know if this will show me what happened. Yes, Dave Stewart left the game injured. Looks like, can I see the injury status? Out. His diagnosis is pending. Well, that's gonna be tough for the 93 Jays, losing their starting pitcher in the 1st inning. So Mike Timlin is going to be thrust in here to get the job done. We got no score after 3. No score after 4. No score after 5. No score after 6. And we got no score after 7, so we're going to jump in now. The 92 Jays are the away team. They have 2 hits in the game. The 93 Jays have 1 hit in the game. Crazy. Danny Cox is on the mound for the 93 Jays. Quick look at the box score to see what the 93 Jays have done. You see Dave Stewart was gone after an inning. Mike Timlin with 3 amazing innings of relief. Al Leiter with 2 innings. And Danny Cox now in for a 2nd inning. Jimmy Key working on a 1-hitter for the 92 Blue Jays. Wow. Jeff Kent is going to pinch it. He is going to hit that ball high and deep to left field, but Ricky Henderson makes the play on the track for out number 1. Top of the order for the 92 Jays and Robbie Alomar. He rips one to second. Right to Robbie Alomar. Love it. Tony Castillo into the game now for the 93 Blue Jays to face John Olerud. Again, lefty versus lefty, and Olerud grounds out. So the 92 Jays go 1-2-3. The 93 Jays have a chance to put something together. Only 1 hit off of Jimmy Key so far. Here's Devon White. He hits a ball hard down the left field line. Back, but caught in the corner. Candy Maldonado showing off that speed and glove. Neither of which was really good, but good enough. Here's Borders. He hits a weak dribbler up the middle. Alomar makes the play. 2 down. And the Coles now the number 9 hitter.
Strike 3.
Strikes out Darnell Coles. Coles goes down. 1-2-3 for Jimmy Key. Mark Eichhorn in now in relief of Danny Cox for the 93 Jays. Dave Winfield at the plate. No score in the game here now, top of the 9th.
Strike 3.
And Winfield strikes out. Who's going to be the hero in this one? Could it be Joe Carter? Already a big home run in this series. He strikes out as well. Mark Eichhorn has pitched very well in this series, 4 1/3.
Strike 3.
And there is 3 strikeouts. Wow. Mark Eichhorn strikes out the side. We're going to go to the bottom of the 9th now. The 93 Jays. Jimmy Key back out here. And Ricky hits a single up the middle. Ricky Henderson 6 for 16 in the series so far. Gotta love it. So that brings Robbie Alomar, who's only 2 for 15 so far for the 93 Jays, and he strikes out. His woes continue. John Olerud for the 93 Jays now. He's 5 for 15. And he hits a high fly ball deep to center field. That's going to fall in front of Devon White, who looked like he might have misplayed it. Looks like White might have misplayed that ball. Looks like he read it was going to be deep, and it fell in front of him. And that is a double for John Olerud. 2nd and 3rd, the winning run at 3rd base. And here is Paul Molitor. Jimmy Key staying in the game. A chance to walk it off here. And Molitor obviously going to get the free pass to load it up for Tony Fernandez. The force out at the plate now. The 92 Jays are going to turn it over to Tom Henke. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. No score. Bases loaded. Fernandez. And he hits one into left field, and that's going to be the ball game. As the 93 Jays walk it off here in the bottom of the 9th. Tony Fernandez with an RBI single, and the 93 Jays even up the series at 2. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Tony Fernandez had the only RBI of the game. Only 2 extra base hits in the game. An Olerud double for the 93 Jays and a Winfield double for the 92 Jays. Robbie Alomar had a stolen base for the 92 Jays. Jimmy Key took the loss, went 8 1/3, 3 hits, a run, 3 walks, 9 Ks. Pitched fantastic. Tom Henke obviously didn't get the job done. 1 batter, gives up a single. Again, the 93 Jays had to scramble it together with Dave Stewart injured. Mike Timlin threw 3, Leiter with 2, Cox 1 2/3, Castillo a third, and Eichhorn with an inning pitched. 8 innings of relief for the 1993 Blue Jays bullpen. 2 hits allowed, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Jimmy Key, though, even though he took a loss, player of the game. Unbelievable. So now we're 2-2. We're 2-2. So we're going to go to Juan Guzman, who lost game 1 to David Cone. As we're still in, 93, Toronto is still home. The home team has won every game so far. Uh-oh. Dropping things on the ground, which is fine. Pick those up after. Yeah, so home team's won every game. So we'll see what happens here in game number 5. Pivotal game 5, obviously. No score through 2. What a tight series this has been so far. No score through 3. The 93 Jays strike with 2 in the bottom of the 4th to take a 2-0 lead. 3-0 now as they add an extra run. 3-0 after 6. Let's see what happens. Juan Guzman still in the game, pitching quite well. That is a fly ball to deep to left field. That is going to go all the way to the wall. And Robbie Alomar is going to lead off the top of the 8th with a triple for the 92 Blue Jays. And it looks like he got hurt. And he is actually going to leave the ball game. Looks like he may have injured his back sliding into third base. Alfredo Griffin is going to take over. Nobody out. John Oler at the plate, runner at third. And that is going to be nabbed by his Olerud counterpart at first. Tags the base. Runner stays at third. Juan Guzman's going to give way to Dwayne Ward now as Dave Winfield comes to the plate here in the 8th with 1 out. Trying to get that run home from third to get on the board. And he walks him. Tying run will come to the plate now in the form of Joe Carter. 1 for 19 in the series for the 92 Jays. Fly ball to left. Devon White's going to get there. He's going to make the catch. And no run on the play. Alfredo Griffin staying put with that 45 speed. He missed opportunity there. Again, Alomar being hurt. He probably would have tagged up and scored there. So here's Maldonado. And he is going to come through with a single to center field. So the 92 Jays get on the board. First and second now, 2 out, 3-1 they are down. Devon White here. Trying to keep this inning going. And that is going to be ripped to deep left center. That is going to be off the wall. They're going to get the ball in. 1 run has scored. And Maldonado comes all the way around to score. And the 92 Blue Jays have tied the game at 3 here in the 8th inning. Wow. Runner at second now for Borders. And he strikes out. So Ward does get out of it. But the 92 Blue Jays score 3 runs and come all the way back to tie the game at 3. Tom Henke in now for the 92 Blue Jays to face Fernandez, Carter, and White. Fernandez 5 for 15 so far. Grounded to first, that's going to be an out. Joe Carter with a high fly ball deep to left center, but Devon White is going to get there. 93 Carter faring a lot better, 6 for 17. Here's Devon White now to face Henke. Rips that one to first, and that's going to be a quick 3 up, 3 down for the Terminator. We're going to go to the 9th, tied at 3. Again, another close game. Danny Cox in for the 93 Jays. Here's Manny Lee. Hits a fly ball to right. Joe Carter. There, makes the play. Oh, he drops it. Wow, I thought Joe Carter was going to catch that. He just didn't make the play. So leadoff man at second, a defensive misplay. Going to hurt them here. Kelly Gruber's going to take the walk. And they're going to make Alfredo Griffin hit, who is going to be pinch hit for by Jeff Kent. First, second, nobody out. Kent strikes out. Looking. Damn. That's rough for Jeff Kent. Here's Olerud. High fly ball deep to right field. Back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. John Olerud with a 3-run home run. And the 92 Blue Jays come all the way back from down 3-0, and now they lead 6-3. Tony Castillo in now to face Winfield. Still only 1 out here in the inning. And that's going to be a base hit down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases. Carter down there trying to get it. Winfield going to head for third, and he's going to be in there. He's out at third. They got him at third base. It's a 2 out now. A big throw there to get Dave Winfield, who tried to stretch that into a triple. And Carter strikes out. So the 92 Jays with a 3-run John Olerud home run are going to try to close it out here. Tom Henke stays on for a second inning of work. Faces Pat Borders. Grounder up the middle. Diving play, and they got him. Manny Lee with a nice play. The 92 Jays trying to take a 3-2 lead here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I didn't think it was going to be... Well, I mean, I thought it would be close between the two teams. I didn't think it would be this close.
Strike 3.
Darnell Cole strikes out, and that's going to take it back to Ricky Henderson. Chance to take a 3-2 lead for the 92 Jays. Henderson in the hole. That's a base hit. Not dead yet. Robbie Alomar, not hurt for the 93 Jays. And he's going to base hit to right field. That's going to move runners up to first and second, and that is going to bring the tying run to the plate in the form of John Olerud, who just hit a gigantic home run for the 92 Jays. Can he do the same for the 93 Jays? That's going to be ripped in the gap. Johnny Olerud comes through clutch for both teams. That is going to be an RBI double for 93 John Olerud. And he cuts the lead to 6-4. Second and third, 2 out for Paul Molitor. Trying to tie this ball game. Hanky walks him. So that is going to bring it back to the guy who walked it off in game 4, Tony Fernandez, who had a walk-off single off of Tom Hanky in the last game. And he grounds it to the pitcher's mound, and that's going to get the job done. Hanky made it interesting. But the 92 Jays take a 3-2 lead here in the World Series. Wow. Crazy. Pretty solid game all around. Johnny Olerud with that huge home run. He had 3 RBIs on one side, RBI on the other side. Juan Guzman pitched a pretty good game for the 93 Jays, 7 1/3, 6 hits, a run, 8 Ks. The 92 David Cohn pitched pretty well also, 119 pitches. Cray. All right, let's get into this one. We're going to have to speed it up a little bit here. Jeff Kent is going to start at second base for the 92 Blue Jays. Roberto Alomar unable to play due to injury. 93 Jays jump out to a quick 1-0 lead. 2-0 after 3 for the 93 Blue Jays. Trying to stay alive here. 2 runs in the bottom of the 4th for the 92 Jays, and we're tied at 2. And now they take a 6-2 lead with 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th. 6-2 after 6. Let's go to the 7th, see what happens. Still 6-2. Let's jump in here. Juan Guzman working on a pretty solid performance here so far. Facing Darnell Coles here in the 8th. And he strikes him out. 9th strikeout of the day for Juan Guzman for the 92 Jays. Trying to pick up the victory here. A lot of people on the interwebs as Ricky Henderson with another base hit. 9 for 24 now he is. A lot of people think the 93 Jays were a better team, but I mean, you're seeing the evidence, guys. It's very tight. That ball gets by Joe Carter in right. Well, that's Winfield, sorry. And that is going to be an RBI triple for Robbie Alomar. Scoring Ricky Henderson, and now it's 6-3. Here's Bob McDonald. It's going to be a fly ball down the left field line. It's going to make the play. That's going to get the job done. Alomar is going to score, and that's going to make it 6-4. Dwayne Ward now in for the 92 Blue Jays. Trying to lock it down here. And he strikes out Paul Molitor to end the inning. Fantastic work. Not super fantastic work, but not terrible either. Getting the job done. So here we go, bottom of the 8th now. Pat Henkin in trying to hold down the fort here for the 93 Jays. Trying to keep them in this, give them a chance in the 9th. Here in game number 6. The 92 Blue Jays lead 3-2. Kind of fitting that both, oh, that's a high fly ball deep to left, way back, and gone. The Candy Man, Candy Maldonado, hits one out of here, and that's going to make it 7-4 for the 92 Jays. Both of the Jays World Series wins went 6 games. So wouldn't it be fitting if this one went 6 games as well? Devon White grounds out to the mound. That's out number 2. Here's Borders. He strikes out. Last kick at the can for the 93 Blue Jays. Can they recapture some magic? Dwayne Ward's going to stay in the game to try to close it out. Tony Fernandez leads off with a high fly ball deep to right, and that's gone. Tony Fernandez with the first run off of 92 Dwayne Ward in the playoffs. And it's 7-5. Can the magic happen? Crazy. Here's Carter. Carter rips that one into the left center field gap. That's going to be a base hit. So the tying run is at the plate. Devon White, 2 for 22 in the series for the 93 Blue Jays, and he strikes out. Not a good time for Devon White. Borders, who's 4 for 21. He strikes out. Now the 92 Blue Jays. The 92 Blue Jays, one out away from beating their 93 counterparts, and it's Darnell Coles. And he strikes out. The 1992 Toronto Blue Jays prove their supremacy over the 93 version of the squad, picking up a 7-5 win here in game number 6, and they win the series 4-2. Unbelievable. So there you have it, folks. The 92 Blue Jays with the supremacy in the all-time annals of time in Toronto Blue Jays history, picking up a 4-2 series victory. Awesome, awesome. Here's a look at Game 6. You can see lots of good hitting performances on both sides. Todd Stottlemyre for the 93 Jays did not pitch well. Juan Guzman, on the other hand, for the 92 Jays was unbelievable. 7 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 9 Ks. Let's get out of this game. Do a quick little recap. Candy Maldonado for the... can we do the series? Yeah, let's look at the series stats here. Candy Maldonado for the 92 Jays, 7 for 20 with a home run and 4 RBIs. Wins the World Series MVP. Devon White also with a very good performance, 7 for 22. Alomar was 6 for 19. Look at the hitting on the 92 side. Winfield was very good. Olerud was good, couple home runs. David Cone, 14 innings with 17 Ks and a 1.29 ERA. Juan Guzman, 14 2/3, 17 Ks and a 2.45 ERA. Either of them would have made a good case for MVP as well. On the 93 losing side, Ricky Henderson was 9 for 24, 375 average. Johnny Olerud, 8 for 23. Alomar, 8 for 24. So Alomar very good on both sides. But it's kind of funny. You look at 93 Joe Carter, 7 for 21. 92 Joe Carter, 2 for 25. Devon White for the 93 team, 2 for 23. Devon White for the 92 team, 7 for 22. Pitching-wise, Juan Guzman was phenomenal as well for the 93 Jays, 14 1/3, 16 Ks, 1.88 ERA. Todd Stottlemyre was not very good. The starting pitching was not good for the 93 Jays. Dave Stewart getting hurt was not super helpful. But as you can see, all that really matters is what we've proved today using the wonderful powers of Out of the Park Baseball 18. We have proved that the 92 Toronto Blue Jays are better than the 93 Toronto Blue Jays. It's fact. OOTP gets it right. Well, guys, that is going to do it for the first half of tonight's Out of the Park Baseball double header. That Sports Game